I have come to startling.
Yeah, you have
conclusion.
herpes.
I have a singular herpes that's
No, you have
moving
multiple
around.
herpes.
No, it's just one.
Wait. Look in the videos of the Planet Dolan YouTube shorts. You have multiple herpes.
I know, it's just the one on my lip.
No,
and
you
that
have
moves
herpes.
down.
No,
I just have one herpes that's moving
dude,
around.
I think you're in denial, and I'm gonna tell you, in reality, you have herpes, and you should.
How would you know? I would know that I have a singular herpes.
Cause my you know how I would know? Cause my friend has herpes, and their name is Rosa. They told me in confidence.
Oh wait, yeah, I did tell. My
Yeah,
friend
you
Joku
forgot.
Sorry, I bumped my head recently.
Bro, you look like you have herpes in this, bro. I'm sorry.
I know I look like I have herpes in Planet Dolan Storytime Parts 2 and 3.
Look at this herped individual.
No, there's a singular herpes on screen right now.
No, there's multiple, bro.
No, that's
Do you not
one
see the
herpes.
one right here? See right here?
There's nothing. You're pointing at nothing.
No, I'm pointing it right there. Look in the camera.
On the lip?
No, look in the camera. There you go. I see it. That's 2 herpes, bro.
No, the one herpes is gone, and it's moved from my lip down
to your lip.
Here.
Well, where is it gonna move now? Do you have any cold sores?
Yeah.
We don't. So you do have herpes.
I might have herpes.
Because you're such a herpaloid.
I'm such a herpelectic whore.
So fucking sunny, bro.
Well, it's always sunny in Philadelphia.
Yeah? What is that
I mean, it's, you know...
You're an idiot.
Close enough.
You're an idiot.
No, I'm not. I'm a titan of industry and the greatest.
What industry? You have no industry in your city. Your industry is gone.
I'm a titan of,
What? Nothing? You have nothing.
I'm a titan of the streetwalkers on Ave.
Wow.
Yeah.
I wonder why. Because there's
Leave
nothing
out that street. That's real.
They have nothing to do.
Yeah, no, literally, my city is...
In shambles.
I live in the Rust Belt. I live in the Rust Belt, ladies and gentlemen, and it is not fun. Which is why I hope I hope I can move soon. Damn. Well, what's up, little comers? It's Composting, the most herpaleptic podcast in the world. I'm joined here today by my cane-holding, black, strange suit wearing, forehead having co-host, Joku.
It sounded like you said cane holding, comma, black, comma, string out to suit wearing. Yeah, I'm
Image
black.
of the week, by the way. If you didn't know, I'm gonna get this out of the way early. Pretty much every week we do a link that says image of the week in the description of every episode. In every episode, it's a weekly image for you to enjoy. And this week, it's that image that I'm describing.
Yes.
So, click the Imgur link. Also, click the Patreon link when you're down there.
No, I'm a strawberry. Yeah, right.
I'm a strawberry.
Anyway, I'm your co-host, the most cankerillis co-host, stolen from Hive Mind. Joku.
Hi, Joku.
Hi, I'm trying a purple edition Japanese Red Bull today.
Oh, send me a picture of that so that can be in the episode.
No.
No, it's not good. Oh, you didn't like that.
Whoa. The flavor I've had before, it's, a flavor that I've tasted it in Japanese candy. I don't really, I don't really know what the flavor is. It reminds me of like, I don't remember the name of the fruit, but it's like very hairy and it's got like a grape substance looking inside.
A durian? No.
A durian is like a jackfruit.
Yeah.
This is like tiny. It's like this size.
I see.
You can't see it, audience, but I showed Rosa.
Okay, we're gonna find this fruit. The fruit, I'll add in the name of it, the Latin name of it, into the episode when we figure out what fruit this is. But currently I'm drinking a Wegmans organic mint lemonade kombucha, and I'll tell you, folks.
I found the fruit. I found the fruit. I thought it was around this, but I didn't know for certain. It's called Rambutan. Yeah. I'll send you a picture of it, Rosa. You can
like a Bhutanese passport. Bhutanese passport.
What?
Oh, you don't know about Bhutanese passport. Play the clip.
Bhutanese passport. A Bhutanese passport is a document which authorizes our facilities, travel, and other activities in Bhutan or by Bhutanese citizens.
Anyway, here. This is what it looks like.
That shit look like my balls.
But yeah, Rosa, how are you doing this Friday morning we're recording?
I'm doing fairly well. I get to see the Brutalist Slayer today, which I've been really anticipating seeing. And I'm really looking forward to it. It's quite snowy out, so I'm not quite looking forward to driving in that conditions, but it won't be too bad of a drive, hopefully. Yeah, how are you?
Terrible. Just terrible. I watched THX 1138, directed by George Lucas. And it wasn't a great experience because you know how George Lucas edited like the original Star Wars trilogy and like did the weird CGI like mocks in like the early 2000s?
Oh yeah.
It's like that, but like for an entire movie almost. Because this is a movie that came out before Star Wars in 1971.
Yeah.
And he just kind of did that for like the entire movie. So I don't know what is like from like 1971 and then what is just CGI'd like in like 2004. So I feel like I didn't get like an authentic experience to the movie at all.
I heard good things about the 70s one, but I've never even heard about the CGI version of that movie.
Well, it's like it's hard to get a copy of the original.
Yeah, that's one thing I fucking hate about a lot of George Lucas's movies is he makes these shittier versions of them like 20 years or 30 years after the fact. And he's like, now it's illegal to have the original one, and if you have it, the cyborg state police will be sent to your house. You will be sent to time prison.
I had an egg sandwich, and I love breakfast sandwiches. They're my favorite.
What type of hot sauce did you have in that thing?
Frank's Red Hot.
Frank's Red Hot's a good choice. I also like Cholula a lot. Cholula's one that I always reach for. There's a certain creaminess to Cholula that I really like, but have you tried the dill pickle Frank's Red Hot that just came out?
No, I don't care about that shit. What? How? I'm not gonna put a pickle on a breakfast sandwich, bro.
No, I like the I like the different types of Red Hot. Red Hot's kind of a regional thing with upstate New York specifically. It's like it's like one of very few points of pride for us. It's one of well, I mean, we have the Kodak camera.
Well, you also have like a crippling industry that left a while ago.
Yeah, well, I mean, our economy is
well, can I tell you this? Well, let me tell you this. You know, our steel industry died too, but like we rebounded at least. You guys still in the Stone Age. I think you guys are still using stone mallets out there.
Yeah, well, hopefully when Trump invades Canada...
You know what you drive around in? You drive around in fucking Flintstone cars.
Yeah, you've been in my Hyundai Venue, and I actually had to cut out the floor in it. By the way, guess what I found on the floor?
What?
The gallon water jug.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, from when we hung out together?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, because that...
Dude, you know what's scary? There's still a substance in it.
Drink it. Maybe you'll get a hotter version of yourself that doesn't have herpes.
The fuck? I don't even... Okay, by the way, I don't have herpes. I just had 2 very unfortunate pimples. I only get 1 pimple at a time. It's frustrating.
It's tragic.
I need to revisit my skincare routine, reevaluate,
Get herpes medicine.
get herpes
Shit like that.
medicine.
Anyway, shit
Stop
happened.
kissing my uncle on the mouth.
Ew. Anyway, shit happened this week. Mainly Oscar nominations were released,
Yeah.
and we're gonna breeze past them. Not really. We're not gonna breeze past them, but we'll touch on what happened, what we're excited for, and what not.
Yeah.
You want to start out?
Yeah. I'm gonna start with my favorite category, probably.
Yeah.
Supporting actor. There's not a bad pick in there. Obviously I haven't seen The Brutalist yet, but particularly Yuri from Anora got a nomination, who I'm very excited for, and Kieran Culkin from A Real Pain, which we're reviewing today, got a nomination, which I'm really happy about. Yuri specifically, I'm super elated about. Obviously, he received a Golden Eagle Award in Russia, which is the Russian-speaking world's equivalent of the Oscars, quite prestigious. And I really like his acting. I'm very excited to hopefully see him in more like artsy, cool films like Anora, because he's very much so an action actor, and I'm really hoping he takes this award home, because you're hitting the fucking absolute cinema on me.
But I'm getting like God touched right now.
You're getting God blasted.
Amelia Perez got 12 nominees, which we're pretty disappointed in.
Yeah, I like to open up with the positive. However, the negative and probably the most bizarre thing is the Amelia Perez nominations being 12, making it one of the singular most nominated films in Oscar history. Obviously, we did a review of that movie with our
Shitty
good friend,
kickflips.
Shitty Kickflips, Rhyme. That'll be linked in the top right corner, one of those little card pop-ups on YouTube. And you can find it on streaming if you search for Amelia Perez. But, yeah, it's one of those things where the Academy is very, very, very motivated by, like, virtues.
I actually didn't get 12. It got 13.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ. Yeah, the Academy is obviously very motivated by, like...
Money,
the attention economy, and I don't know what else to say than, like, woke nonsense. Like, it's not a good movie. The only reason that they're elevating this... Dude, elevated is such a ruined word for me.
because you think of elevated dookie.
I think of elevated poop.
You think of elevate.
Dude, that's
poop.
like 4 on the poop counter, just there. Fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it just feels to me like a shallow attempt at trying to virtue signal support for the trans community in the worst possible way by elevating a movie which is universally hated by both trans and especially Mexican people.
Yeah.
It just feels like out of touch.
You're out of touch.
You're out of time. Hollywood people. It's a Green Book situation. Yeah. It's a Crash situation.
Well, was Crash saying anything like social movement?
Yeah. Crash was like anti-racist, but was like doing it in a really racist way.
Damn. Do you
that
know?
One Best Picture 2004. Not Crash, David Cronenberg, different Crash. But...
Do you know what movie has the most nominees?
Wicked, I think.
No, I mean of all time.
Oh, of all time. I'm guessing Titanic.
Titanic. Oh, the basis I'm going off of is earliest movie to get that. Titanic is up there. I think it's number 2. But it's actually all about Eve.
Yeah, I knew it was like some old movie, and then Titanic was tied with it. I forgot.
But that's actually very on topic for what movie we're talking about later.
Yeah,
it is referenced.
Yeah, yeah. Why don't we pick another? What's a category that you liked, that you're excited about?
I was excited about visual effects because there's so many monkeys in there. There's a lot. There's a lot of monkeys.
Better Man was nominated for visual effects, which I'm really rooting for.
Kingdom of
funny.
Planet of the Apes and Wicked also have monkeys in there. But I'm hoping for Dune.
Where's the People's Joker?
True.
True.
Honestly, like overall, it's fine. It's kind of predictable. Of like within the last December, I would say I was like pretty locked in on what Oscars would be.
Yeah. Another one that we're excited about. No Other Land got a nom.
Yeah, No Other Land got a nom. Some things that we're kind of disappointed on. Challengers in Queer did not get any nominations. No bones thrown their way.
Yeah, not nominating Challengers for soundtrack is insane.
Yeah, the music category, the original song one, is kind of just a throwaway. There's like two Amelia Perez songs, one Elton John song, and then a song from the 688, and then a song from Sing Sing.
Yeah, the foreign films category, I do quite like, except for Amelia
Kneecap.
Perez. But Kneecap was kind of snubbed, in my opinion, which you don't like to see. Shout out the boys, stream their new album, but you hate to see the snub. Really good movie. That I'm a bit disappointed that even I think that you could argue that Kneecap could be a strong contender for soundtrack or original song, but whatever.
What about Look Back? Would Look Back be a better one in international than Kneecap, in your opinion?
In my opinion, I'd rather see Kneecap get nominated, even though I think Look Back is a better movie, just because of the fact that Ireland doesn't get nominations like that, other than the one time that there was an Irish film nominated.
Yeah.
And I obviously have very pro-Irish biases as a former member of the Provisional IRA. It's a joke.
No, it's serious.
No, it's real. That's real.
It's completely real. Rosa, everything she says is real.
Yep. Yep.
I mean, it was in the conversation, which is a good sign. I will say that.
Mm-hmm. I will say I'm very happy that it was a film that people really took note of and seemed to be well regarded.
Very happy about Flo being in there too.
Yes. Flo got a nomination for Best Animated, which we're both happy to see.
Also international as well.
Yeah, and international. Because Latvian films. Let's go.
Yeah.
I'm very into Eastern European cinema, and that is something that's very
Eastern European
and not talked about.
Something cool that I learned was that the movie was entirely made in Blender.
Yeah.
And looking at some of the shit from it, because I was looking at the account for the Flow account on Instagram. I was like, God damn, that just looks insane.
Yeah.
So I think that's a triumph of the will. But for real, that is a triumph, and I'm very happy.
Yeah, I'm super happy for the Flow folks. It was sort of a, obviously I liked it more in People's Joker, but it's a bit of a Vera Drew situation where what I'm most excited about with that movie is what the people behind it are going to do in the future. If that makes sense, because there's so much talent put on display.
Well, yeah.
Bit of a snub in my opinion, it not getting nominated for sound when Wild Robot was.
Yeah.
especially because Flow would be my pick for best sound design of the year. I mean, that film.
No, I would say Dune Part 2.
Dune. Okay, yeah, Dune Part
Dune,
2.
like, I think the sound design in Flow is really good. I think it would be a number 2 for me.
No, yeah,
but
right.
like Dune Part 2, you really feel the sound. I don't know if you saw it in theaters.
I did. Yeah, you're totally.
But like, dude, the sound in that movie. Oh my god.
I was kind of. We did talk about this last night. I totally forgot about the conversation.
Yeah.
Like, so much work was put into the sound design with Dune Part 2. So many talented people came on board for that. But I wish that there was some Flow recognition in that category. Even if it's a category that people don't really think about, it's something that, as someone who works with audio for their job, I mean, producing this show, producing Podatog, working as a musician, producing records, it's something I think about quite a bit.
Bro, I was looking at the sound people for the movie Flow, and one of them was the sound guy for the movie Valerian and the City of a Thousand Planets, which
Dude, remember that Pat video on Valerian where he's like, Star Wars is just a Valerian ripoff?
I love the Valerian, which is awesome.
Dude, that's honestly, that would be a great review in the future. Banger movie.
Yeah.
Banger.
I was looking at the sound design crew on Dune, and holy shit, that team is huge.
No, that's why I told you, anyone that's anybody was on Dune. Like, I can't imagine how much money was spent on sound design for that movie. Because I know a bit about the sound design industry in LA, like, watching interviews with the Wild Robot guys. I'll link a really good JHS Pedals interview with the good folks.
Did you
from
know
Wild Robot.
that, like, whenever I was first like enrolling in colleges, I was interested in like film major, and that like the film avenue that I was thinking about going and like pursuing with a career in film was sound design.
Sound design, I love. Sound design is.
Yeah, I thought about doing like if I were to work in, like if I were to pursue it on an educational level in my college, I would go for sound design.
Yeah. Yeah. Same here. That or writing, because I have I don't know if you want to call it stand up as writing experience. I would. I have some background in both, but yeah, sound. I would be if I wasn't doing the social sciences thing. I would be pursuing sound design.
Yeah. Yeah. Pretty. I would say solid Oscars. There's some very strange picks in some categories. A lot of strange Emilia Perez stuff, but that's kind of an Oscar usual.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like,
I don't know.
Don't Look Up, fucking a Green Book, Black Panther. It's kind of an Oscar MO to be very silly and stupid.
Yeah, and like. I don't know what else to say, but like utter woke nonsense.
Yeah.
All of those picks come from the same out of tune liberal billionaire place.
But there is still some really cool, interesting picks in Best Picture.
Yes.
I'm Still Here and Nickel Boys got in there, which I was surprised to see. Yeah, I do like seeing. It's great when international films are in Best Picture talk.
Totally.
I wish there were more.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess Emilia Perez is technically a foreign movie, but I'm talking.
It's spiritually American with how out of touch it is.
Yeah, but like I'm Still Here from Brazil.
Yeah.
Is great to see. You know.
Yeah, there's a lot of negativity around these Oscars with the Emilia Perez thing, which it's expected with how crazy of a pick that is. However, I do think that it's overshadowing the fact that outside of Emilia Perez, this is one of the best Oscars picks in ever. The Oscars are better than ever, in my opinion. It's doing so much to...
I would say 2023 Oscars is, personally, when I found the Oscars to be kind of going in a better direction.
Yeah, but I don't
Like,
think...
like 2021 had some good picks in there, but there was a lot of strange shit in there too.
Yeah,
2022 was a good direction.
Yes,
for sure.
but what I mean to say by that is one of the biggest criticisms I felt with the Oscars before this decade was the fact that very much so had an Anglosphere bias and sort of ignored films from outside the English-speaking center for outside of like small little
pockets.
Yeah. And a lot is happening to challenge that. Obviously, I would love to see, we're obviously seeing a lot of Korean, Japanese, French, German, and some Spanish movies getting elevated to that level. But what I'm most excited about is what Flow represents in Eastern European films getting the recognition that for a century they haven't.
Well, what I look forward to and what I hope it becomes more of a norm is that it is more of an international experience where it can tend to feel like international films don't really breach different grounds. And I'm glad to see Flow. You know, it's in multiple categories. Which is great to see. I just, even if I'm not a big fan of Emilia Perez, there is some light within it a little bit, in the sense that we do have our first trans actress nomination, which is a good thing. I feel like we do have to state there are some good things. It is a foreign film. Even if it is bad representation of Mexico, I'm still glad that, a foreign feature is getting this much recognition within the Academy, even if I think it is a bad movie.
Even if it's not coming from the best place, I do want to say that I would be elated to see Emilia Perez win, specifically leading actress. I think that would be very nice to see a trans woman win that, even if I... Hey, so obviously this comes out to the public on, what is it, like fucking, February 6th? But we recorded this episode on, the 24th of January. And between us recording this and when this comes out, I'm recording this on February 3rd, it came out that the actress behind Emilia Perez is actually the world's most racist woman of all time on Twitter. Hates Muslim people, hates black people, compared criticism of her movie to the Holocaust, blocked us on Twitter for when I tweeted at her that she's a fucking piece of shit. And then she deleted her account. So, yeah, I take it back. We talk about this more in a fucking later episode, but yeah, that's on that. It's not really even on me. Fuck her, dude.
Fight the power! My only hope is that they actually say trans people in their acceptance speeches instead of the Golden Globes, where it's just like, it's gonna be rough, but you gotta stay positive. We can do it. Okay, thank you for this award. Goodbye.
Yeah.
It's like talking to them, but not even saying the trans word.
Very odd. I hope that if she does win, she uses that to jump off to talk about the situation for trans people in our country and outside of our country, and the fact that Donald Trump signed an apartheid bill into law, He
Yeah.
just enacted apartheid. Like, no other word for it.
Yeah.
We live in an apartheid state for trans people now. You know, we're very lucky to be living where we are living, but yeah, I do think it needs to be addressed because so many of our brothers and sisters aren't so lucky.
Yeah.
I do want to link down in the down in the description. I'll link the Trevor Project. If you guys would like to donate, I can't speak for you, but as a trans person who has experienced suicidality, it's a good resource to be out there, and it's a very underfunded, very overutilized resource. As someone who knows phone operators at the Trevor Project, the best people in the world, it's not even close. Like, they wonderful folks that are so underappreciated.
Yeah.
And are not given enough funding while having to bear the weight of the world on their shoulders. So if you can give. If you can't donate money, try donating your time. See if you can help out. And I don't know, just be there for your community in the next year or so. Go help out a soup kitchen. Go.
Yeah. Community, I think, is very important.
Yeah. I think that the number one thing that people ask me, even though I'm not a politician, I'm a comedian, they do ask me what we should be doing during this time. As someone that people respect my opinion on politics, I don't know why, but
You're well read.
yeah, but
You read Mein Kampf 3 times.
My thought process is what we should be doing first and foremost is building trust in our communities by doing community solidarity activities like, I don't know, holding dinners for the homeless people of our communities. Easter is coming up in a few months. Try and see if you can organize a Easter dinner for the homeless people in your community. Join Food Not Bombs. I have many criticisms of groups like the DSA and Food Not Bombs, but in all honesty, with how disparate the left movement is in the United States, our first thing should just be building community and building support structures so targeted members of our community, when I say our community, I mean working class folks, not just trans people, but targeted members of our community, which would be like queer folks and especially Latin people, can be protected. I would see if you can see if your city has a like Watch ICE program where you're on the lookout for ICE officers and informing the community of any ICE activity in the area, and build bridges between the queer community and the Latin community, because we need each other during this difficult time. But yeah, bit off topic, but I do think it's
Wow.
important to
think that all stemmed from Emilia Perez.
Yeah. Wow.
Crazy.
Emilia Perez does really show how the Latin community and the queer community can come together in hating that fucking film.
Yeah. I don't really have anything else to say about the Oscars right now.
Me neither.
Pretty standard. Like, our complaints are kind of just, like, very basic in the sense that, like, it's Emilia Perez sweep looking like, which is not great.
Which is funny. We can admit
it's funny, but we do see the silver lining within it a little bit. Even though we don't really support the movie.
I just want to say, like, people get hyper focused on like what the most prestigious categories are and who's getting the most nominations, when I think that there's so much exciting things about this Oscars just in like categories that people think about less, which I don't think that there's any such thing as a unimportant Oscar.
Like, it's crazy that I honestly might say that my category for this year is sound again. Last year I was a big proprietor in that zone of interest winning.
Yeah.
I really wanted Zone to win that because that is a movie that is based off of sound, and I find that Dune is not necessarily like main focus is sound, but it is a big focus of the film, and it really adds to the world. So I do hope Dune wins, and I think sound might be one of my favorite categories this year again. Hoping it doesn't go to the Wild Robot.
Speaking of animated films from this year.
No, I'm not done yet.
Oh, okay. My bad.
But to finish off the Oscar discussion, there's a lot of minute things that we could be complaining about, which we're not really gonna do it. Like Daniel Craig not in Best Actor running, like shit like that, where it's like one thing. Which we're not really gonna touch upon. Also, if I had to replace one from actor, to put Daniel Craig, I would put Ralph Fiennes out, or Timothée Chalamet. Those would be my two. But I would probably put Ralph Fiennes out.
But I think.
Sorry, Ralph, I love you, but
with the magnitude of negativity around this Oscars, I think it's more interesting to talk about what we like because there is a lot to like.
Anyway, let's talk about pain, a real pain.
Ow!
Yeah, buddy? You hurt.
Ow, my neck!
Do you have what the fuck do you have? What did you have? Gynecomastia?
Gynecomastia?
Yeah, do you want to talk about that and you're suffering with that?
I don't have I just have boobs because I'm on estrogen.
Wait, what did you put on it? What did you use for your gynecomastia or whatever? I can't speak.
I don't have gynecomastia because I'm not a man. I'm growing boobs because I am a woman on estrogen.
But didn't you... What product did you use?
Oh. Does your dick not work?
No, just say the product, dumbass.
What product?
What was for the... It was an ad read. What's the ad? Oh my god, bro. So we were doing the bro episode, and you would talk about your gynecomastia. What would you use?
That was Broza. That's a completely different person.
Well, anyway, what was Broza talking about? What substance were they putting on their dick? Okay, this should all be cut out, bro.
Now you know how it feels to not be yes and.
Dude, I don't. Well, here, we're gonna edit all of this out. I want to know what you were talking about. It was brain force.
Oh yeah, brain force.
It was brain force. That's the word.
Yeah.
Or metaverse.
Yeah.
Or a dialysis machine. You
or
had
livers and more livers.com.
Yeah. You had 4 outs and you didn't use them.
No, because I don't want to repeat bits.
Well, we could mention it, and then we could build off of it and just go someplace else.
I don't know. I think we should just...
Well, my plan is if you were going to say, like, any of those, I was going to say, from the creators of Brain Force. Now, there's...
Oh, okay. Why don't we use...
No, it's fine. It's ruined. It's ruined. It's ruined. This is what a yes and... You ruined it, bro. Anyway... All right, should we lock back in? That's all getting cut out, right?
Say, wait, okay. Ow!
What's wrong, buddy?
I have a real pain. 2024, directed by Nick Land, my favorite author of the Dark.
Are you an
Dialectic.
idiot? What are you talking about? It's directed by Jesse Eisenberg.
Dude, I was so excited about my Nick Land bit because Nick Land
Who the
is my
fuck
favorite.
is Nick Land?
He's my favorite chud author.
Who is Nick Land?
Author of the Dark Dialectic. You wouldn't get it. The negative dialectic.
Wait, what the fuck are you talking about?
Nick Park.
Who's Nick Park?
Director of Wallace Gromit.
But what?
Yeah, I was just gonna lie. Cause I was like, Nick Land's funny.
Dude, you're an idiot. You're an actual...
just a joke for me.
Dude, and it was the wrong movie. We're talking about a Real Pain. Real Pain is directed by Jesse Eisenberg, aka the Zuck.
Bro. And then you got the sock? You got that sock with the Zuck?
This is a movie about pain and loss, and how we cope with it. This is told through Kieran Culkin and Jesse Eisenberg's relationship. With so they play brothers in this movie and cousins. Yeah, they're their cousins. Yeah, you're right. Yep. They're cousins, and their grandmother recently passed away, and they are in Poland to learn about their history
as Jewish folks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I believe you really liked this movie. You really connected with it. I really
connected with this movie. It has a lot to say about the diaspora experience, and a lot to say with the way that I cope with my own suicidality and the way I relate to other people. Kieran Culkin in this movie, who plays Benji, I have never related to a film, like a character in a film, to the extent that I related to and understood Kieran Culkin in this movie. Like, he's on one hand, charming and bombastic and able to light up a room. I don't want to like suck my own dick here, but in a way that I do. But on the other hand, he's incredibly blunt, off-putting, and often makes people uncomfortable. And he uses comedy and exuberance as a coping mechanism for his own suicidality. Shows affection in often strange ways. Is a bit bullish in a way that just really reminds me of myself. It's something that I've been thinking about a lot since I watched the movie, and this is the most I've cried watching a movie all year.
Even more than Look Back?
Oh, more than Look Back. I began crying when they were at the Warsaw Ghetto Uprising monument, just because of how powerful the imagery of it was. As someone
Which one was that? Can you describe it?
The Warsaw Ghetto Uprising monument
was it the one where they were taking photos in front of it with everyone?
No, the one before it. Okay. Where it was the first monument they saw, and the tour guide was saying, many people like to think that Jews were brought like lambs to the slaughter, and that's the first myth I'd like to dispel. And that everything about the Warsaw Ghetto Uprising is so powerful to me, and so meaningful. And it was just the monument, the beauty of this monument that brought me to tears. And that was 15 minutes into the film. And I cried like 5 times throughout the entire thing. I had tears in my eyes through the whole film. It says so much about the certain category of person, which I happen to fall into, and it says so much about the diaspora experience, Holocaust tourism, and generational trauma, without doing it in a way that I find bothersome, because generational trauma is a kind of a buzzword type thing, but I think it's put on display well in this movie.
Yeah, I liked this movie. I did not like it as much as you, but I still really enjoyed this movie. I really liked Kieran Culkin's performance. It's his same kind of character from like everything else he's been in, Succession, Scott Pilgrim. But you know, I never get tired of that character. He plays it so well.
Yeah.
And I'm always here to eat it up. Big Kieran Culkin fan. Jesse Eisenberg played a good straight man. I wouldn't really write home too much with Jesse Eisenberg.
Yeah, he was just fine.
Yeah. Kieran Culkin is really the star of this.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah,
I liked all. Yeah, you go.
I will say, Kieran Culkin's directing is what really shined through in this movie, more so than his
Jesse
acting.
Eisenberg.
Jesse Eisenberg's directing is what really shined through, more so than his acting. They go on a tour of Poland, a heritage tour, which things like this are very, very, very common for Jewish folks to go on. and that the tourism industry is and the emotions around it are explored in a nuanced way about the fact that these tours often abstract the fact that these are real people's lives that came to such a bitter end, that you should be feeling during these tours. You should be present. You shouldn't just be tacitly walking by taking pictures of things. You should be actively living in that history. I think that the film does that in a real way, by examining things like being on a train in first class heading to where your family was brought to the slaughter. It's strange. That's such a strange feeling that
Yeah.
I've never seen conveyed in a such a fantastic way before. And Kieran Culkin just does a great job conveying the almost all the contradicting webs of emotions that you feel around that. Yeah, it's great. Particularly the scene in the concentration camp. I was in shambles during it. You had compared it to the Zone of Interest.
Yeah, there was a Twitter discourse saying that this was a better scene.
I think that they're very different scenes. I don't think.
Yeah.
I think that the only thing that they have subject. They share a subject. They do not share a location. This was not a tour of Auschwitz to Birkenau. This was a tour of Midarnik. But it was brutal. It's a tour of the camp, pretty much in silence, other than this is the barracks, this is the showers, this is the chambers, and then they walk up to the oven. And it's beautiful. They're conveying two very different things.
Yeah.
Which is why I think it's a obviously you're not the one that made the comparison. You think it's an interesting discussion.
Yeah.
Which
I think it's a very stupid comparison to compare concentration camp scenes. Both are they're very static. They just present you with the shots of it.
Yeah, and
and it's just very strange to compare them.
Yeah,
low-key.
That comparison really bothers me. It rubs me the wrong way. I'm glad it's not something that you told me to think about it, but it didn't even cross my mind, because I think that's such an infantile, moronic comparison that only comes from a place of having no understanding whatsoever.
I will say that the concentration scene in Zone of Interest hit me harder than this one.
Yeah.
It's not to say this one is bad or anything at all. I still think this is a very good, respectful scene. But, like, for me personally, I was more emotional towards the other one.
They're two very different scenes. Like,
I think both are very good.
Yeah, that scene in the Zone
But
of
I'm
Interest.
not comparing them, like, besides that.
Yeah. I'm not even gonna talk about more. I think that if you're like engaging in that discourse, particularly if you're not even Jewish, I hate bringing shit like that up. Like, I don't want to say like you can't have an understanding, but if you have no cultural understanding, stop. It's stupid. It bothers me.
But to jump off of the concentration camp scene, though, I did like the on-site location shooting for this movie.
Yes.
It really helped the movie for me, and I really liked the whole shot composition of those locations.
Mm-hmm.
That being said, whenever characters are talking, though, it's
a bit boring.
Yeah, it's not as unique camera work, or at least like the shots are not as interesting.
Yeah. The dialogue obviously really worked for me. If I'm gonna be coming out with the bold claim of I've never related to a character in a film more. But I agree that the camera work.
There is some dialogue that doesn't work for me, though.
Yeah, I watched after I bawled my eyes out at the first watch. I did feel the need to skim through it again, just to try and get like a look of the scenes where I was like wailing with my eyes in my hands. I'm like, I should go look at the shot work, look at everything, flesh out my notes a bit, and it didn't really impact me on my first watch with how moved I was, but when I sort of took the
Step back.
yeah, took a step back, took off my my film enjoyer hat and put on my film critic hat.
Sorry, don't let me stop you.
I was like, hey.
Yeah, there is some
Jesse!
dialogue that I'm not a huge fan of, low-key. Mainly the Jesse Eisenberg foot conversation.
There's some feet shots in this movie.
Yeah, I don't
was
know.
tr-
I
was trying-
didn't need that, low-key.
It was
I didn't
trying
need to
convey
learn.
that, like, he has no filter and he conveys his affection.
Yeah, but
in
I
weird
don't
ways.
need to. It feels like very Tarantino-esque, you know?
Yeah,
And
I thought,
I just couldn't help but be taken out a bit.
yeah, it's trying to
when
say
it's-
he notices the little things about people.
Yeah, but like I didn't need
but
to. I didn't
I-
need Jesse Eisenberg's feet.
Yeah, I don't think
low-key.
that Jesse Eisenberg knows that foot fetishes exist.
Yeah.
Based on this movie, because if he did, that would have been such a simple
Yeah,
joke to make. So, but yeah, that felt a bit strange, even though what it was conveying was good, and conveyed in other ways, particularly with the character of Marcia, who's in the tour group, recently went through a divorce, and forms a bond with Benji, who, her and the African gentleman, who's a Jewish convert, genocide survivor, were two of my other favorite characters in the movie. Particularly the African gentleman.
Your paper.
What? Oh, I'm so sorry.
Your paper.
Yeah, you're right. That's my bad.
No, you're
Uh,
fine.
Particularly the African gentleman stood out to me as someone who has friends with the Somalian immigrant neighborhood in my city, and it's just talked about like the commonalities in the experiences of experiencing war, genocide, turmoil within their nation, and those experiences, the Black experience, the Jewish experience, the Palestinian experience. I've had many good conversations with my friends in all of those communities about that. And I thought it was conveyed in a very nuanced, good way.
Yeah.
And I thought it was gonna do like some stupid convert discourse bullshit, but it doesn't do that. It doesn't bother with that, which I appreciate, because I think it's stupid. I think it's very stupid that there's that like paternal discourse and convert discourse even exists, when I know that none of you have read the Torah or believe in God. I believe in neither. So just
I'd
stop.
read the Quran.
Black power.
Robot power.
Robot power.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What didn't you like about the? Or actually, before we go into that, what was your favorite part of this movie? Actually,
Kieran Culkin. Like it's
Mine-
not anything, just that character. We had this discussion where it's like art that's really impacted you, and I said I never related to a movie the way that you did with Lady Bird,
or or other
Bottoms,
movies.
stuff
Yeah,
like
Bottoms, the worst
Um,
person in the world, stuff like that.
that. And Kieran Culkin in this film really spoke to me, and it speaks to a lot of funny people that I know.
Yeah.
As much as I like to think of myself as unfunny constantly and be constantly negative, I know that I have to be doing something right. You know, I know what people think of me as funny, so man, I'm unable to be positive about myself. Holy shit, I'm literally him.
You'll get it. You'll get it. My favorite scene was the dinner scene near the very end of the movie.
Oh yeah.
Where Jesse Eisenberg is talking about Benji.
Yeah. And Benji's suicide attempt.
Yeah.
Which feels
that was-
very close to conversations I've had with people.
Yeah. I think that's the best acting that Jesse Eisenberg did within the whole movie.
I'd say it's the emotional climax of the film.
Yeah, too. And I think it just kind of works.
Yeah.
And it really hit. That scene just really hit for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's something that resonated with me very personally, and just like
Yeah.
brought home my relation to this character. I do want to mention the score. I really love classical music, and this film picks from such a good selection, particularly the use of Debussy. I really enjoy.
Do you finish on the back or the bussy? Never finish on the bussy. Finish on the back. Sorry, buddy. Holy shit, this had a lot of sound people on it.
Yeah.
Sorry.
The soundtrack I thought was fantastic. A lot of people are like,
Oh, wow.
it's like a very easy dunk to say video essay music or whatever, but these performances are brilliant and the song choice is immaculate.
There's a ton of people who worked on the sound design in this movie. Fun fact, one of them worked on the sound design for the Zone of Interest.
That makes
So,
sense.
thought that was interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just a good movie, and I'm glad it's getting some recognition in the Oscar department.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. At Palestine protests after the fact, something a bar owner always does is he plays films, and it's been a real bonding experience for our community, particularly the Jewish and Palestinian communities in my city, because Jewish voice for peace is huge here. There are more anti-Zionist Jews than Zionist Jews in my city. That's been a real bonding experience for our communities. I think that this movie would be a good pick for that. Yeah.
There's something that I've noticed recently about Emma Stone. She's a producer tagged on this, which is cool to see. Emma Stone has also produced, was a producer for I Saw the TV Glow, which is also really cool. So
Yeah.
I kind of hope more actors who have the money to produce something would produce stuff that they find interesting. I think this is cool, and I'm glad that they also produced Problemista, that was also from like 2023, which I didn't get to see because it was being released at the beginning, and I couldn't really be bothered.
Emma Stone is one of the women in Hollywood that I have the most respect for. If like, man, I'd do anything to get the chance to like sit down and interview her.
Meet her. Give her an easy A.
What the
You okay?
okay?
Do you get it?
Yeah, yep.
Nice.
Yep, it was sort of like a grenade. You pull the pin, you let go of it. It takes a second to really, for the boom.
Yeah. Things that we didn't like about A Real Pain.
Shot composition during dialogue. Some weak dialogue points. The ending felt very rushed.
Yeah.
I did not
The
like
ending didn't land super well for me. Like, I like it, but I also don't. I kind of like where Kieran Culkin's character ends up.
Yeah.
But how we got there, I was kind of on.
The visit to they want to visit their deceased grandmother's house in Poland, and they leave stones on the doorstep just because that's a tradition with headstones in Judaism, just to show that they were there. And it leads to an argument with a Polish neighbor about it, which was like supposed to be funny, except it just didn't work for me.
Yeah.
It kind of was trying to break the tension, but it didn't need to be there. And honestly, I think it should have just been removed or reworked. I don't know. I'm not a filmmaker.
Yeah.
I'm just here to describe what I do and don't like.
Yeah.
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 Anything else you didn't quite like?
I think that's about it. I'm pretty sure we covered it all. Good watch. Check it out. Would like to see what Jesse directs in the future. I would say it's definitely a step up from when you finish saving the world.
Yep. I would like to give this movie a 13 out of 15.
Feeling a 10.5.
That puts this movie at a 23.5 out of 30 on our ranking, which is linked down below alongside our letterbox. Right alongside Queer,
Creamy.
tied with Queer.
Creamy biscuits. Creamy biscuits.
Do you like Queer more?
Yeah, I do like Queer more.
Okay, we'll put right behind Queer.
Cool.
Ow!
You okay, herpes?
No! A cartoon dog just fucked me.
Did one of your did one of your herpes pop?
I don't have herpes.
Oh. Anyway, we watched Wallace and Gromit, Most Fowl.
Vengeance Most Fowl!
Oh yeah, Vengeance Most Fowl.
My Nick Land joke, I mistimed it. My bad to all the chuds in the audience. I was doing that one for you.
This is directed by Nick Park. Also, Merlin Crossingham has a directing credit to this, so
yeah.
I guess him. For me though, I am gonna say Nick Park is the director because he has worked on most of the Wallace and Gromit movies, along with Chicken Run and Early Man and whatnot.
Aardman is structured much like our company as a worker co-op, which is why a lot of credits are weird because there's a very internally democratic structure. Obviously, I like co-ops, which is why our production company is a co-op. But Wallace and Gromit, Vengeance Most Fowl, coming from Aardman. We reviewed Chicken Run before. We liked it. This was my first Wallace and Gromit film that I've ever watched. Obviously, you're familiar. Yeah.
Holy shit, that's
Yeah.
crazy. And you started off with like you started off with like a sequel.
Yeah.
Damn. Did you watch the prequel? Or the original?
The Feathers McGraw one.
The Wrong Trousers.
No.
Oh.
Except I knew it explains the plot perfectly.
Well,
one.
yeah.
Well,
I'm not discrediting you. I'm just saying.
It's a sequel, but it's very much so a kind of.
You don't really need to see
Yeah,
Wrong Trouser. It works on its own.
But
It's always good.
I am excited to see the other Wallace and Gromit stuff. It's been a big blind spot for me. I grew up on Aardman, with Chicken Run being a mainstay of
I was also an Aardman kid. I used to watch Shaun the Sheep, that TV show. I loved that as a kid. I'd always watch it on my Kindle Fire and iPad. I love Shaun the Sheep. I have Shaun the Sheep plushies, so I'm a big Aardman fan.
Yeah. I talked about this.
Love them.
I talked about this before, but Dad, I love you. I have very limited.
Hi, Rosa's dad.
Hi,
Thank you for
Dad.
watching Composting, your daughter's podcast.
But we didn't have a lot of money growing up, so what my dad would do is he would copy Redbox DVDs and Netflix DVDs back when you had to. Dude, it's crazy to me that there are people that grew up not knowing that Netflix was like a DVD mail service. You know what I mean?
It's crazy to think people grow up and they won't know what a Redbox is.
Dude, I'm really getting old, huh? But we have a lot.
Bro, you are 19.
Yeah, but
bro, you cannot even drink yet.
You're 20. Okay.
So I'm not calling myself old.
I'm saying I'm getting old. I'm not old, but I'm getting old.
You're still technically a teenager.
Fucking with me, cause I'm a teenager with a little bit of gold in the pager. Fuck the police. But we didn't have a lot of money growing up, so my dad would make.
True, you are right with fuck the police. This movie was surprisingly anti-cop.
Yeah, but what I was gonna say is we didn't have a lot of DVDs. And my dad, he would.
Your dad used to burn CDs too.
Yeah, burn DVDs. And so cute. I have a folder of all my childhood movies. All of them watched over and over. and he would like draw the logo on the DVD-R, and they would just like do these cute little doodles of the characters from the movie on it. It was so sweet. I talked about this in the Real Steel episode, but Chicken Run was one of those movies, and it was a constant watch for me. I loved that movie, and I like this film a lot.
Yeah, I like Wallace and Gromit. Love him a lot.
Nope.
Liked this. I didn't know what to expect with Ben Whitehead being the new voice of Wallace and Gromit, since the original actor did pass away in like, I don't know, what year was it? 2017.
Damn.
So, yeah, but yeah, it was pretty good to what the original voice actor sounded like.
Yeah.
So yeah. We mentioned that this is strangely anti-cop. 1-2.
No, 1-3-1-2.
Oh, 1-3-1-2.
ACAB.
Yeah. ACAP include.
ACAB includes Gromit.
No, it includes the Wallace and Gromit police.
Especially the sexy
Indian. Who is your favorite character in this movie?
Gromit.
Oh.
I'm a big Gromit head.
I love that stupid fucking penguin.
Feathers McGraw. I love him.
Dude, I wrote in my notes, I feel like Rosa would get a tattoo of Feathers McGraw.
I would get a tattoo of Feathers McGraw, and like all cops are bastards.
Yeah.
I'd do something like that.
That's kind of lame, low-key.
Yeah, no, now that I say that out loud, that sucks.
Dude. But I feel like you would get a tattoo of him for no particular reason.
I do
low-key.
fuck with Feathers McGraw, yeah.
Yeah.
I like birds.
I didn't write a lot. There's not really a lot to say. I thought it was just really good.
Yeah.
Loved the art design.
The no.
The no what?
Oh, I was interrupting.
The no what?
The gnomes, they boss.
That's what you were gonna say.
Yeah.
I don't have a lot to say really about this.
Wallace
I like this.
builds gnome robots. It kind of explains issues with the tech bubble and automation in a way that kids can understand, which I think is nice.
Yeah.
Because it is sort of a pressing and complex issue. But the film conveys it through an allegory about Wallace building these freaky little FNAF 2 animatronic gnomes that can do yard work. Yeah. Chica.
What else did
Fuck
you like?
the gnome.
No, I would not fuck Norbot. Would you?
I'm not a coward.
Bro, you really are like that documentary, The Porcelain War. I really like the small details to other Aardman's work.
Yeah.
The Wallace and Gromit farmer was there. I don't know if you saw this one, but in the police station, there was a missing poster for the woman from Chicken Run, which I thought was funny.
Yeah, there's so much love.
Yeah, so many
in
small
all of
details.
these Aardman movies.
Yeah, you really the dedication and the effort, it's palpable.
Yeah, and it comes in at a perfect 71 minutes. We love a good short feature, and this was that.
9 minutes. God damn.
Yeah, I think I know our audience rolls a bit like way older than us. So I'm sure some of you have kids. Like, great movie to watch with the kids. Same with all the Aardman stuff. Yeah. A common criticism of film critics is like, oh, why are you critiquing this? It's just a kids movie. And I think that Aardman...
Stupid critique.
What was that?
It's a stupid critique.
Yeah, and I think that Aardman does a great job saying, no, these could be entertaining stories that are timeless. Like,
well, a lot of early Pixar falls under that belt too.
yeah, I would agree too.
Like, modern Pixar isn't working as, like, it's not as great.
Well, yeah, because all the talent okay. No,
Well,
I shouldn't say that.
Well,
A lot of the talent left.
No.
And a lot of the talent isn't in control.
Well, also that, but like, I don't know. Pixar is just very strange in the direction that it's been going, you know?
Yeah. Also, Norbot gets sexual pleasure from being plugged in.
Thank you for sharing.
Feathers McGraw hacks the gnomes, and they become evil gnomes that steal and make a submarine. So Feathers McGraw can get the blue diamond, which he hid in the first movie, to nobody's knowledge. And there's my favorite part of the movie is the chase scene with Feathers McGraw at sort of the climax of the film.
On like the train.
Yeah, on the train. You can tell there's a deep love of Bond films.
Yeah.
Which is what Feathers McGraw is a satire of. This film is very British in that regard, in a good way. Usually I'd say that the same way someone would say a slur, but in this case it made me think that maybe the English aren't so bad.
You know what I'm really excited for? I'm really excited to look at this video in like 3 months, and you're just gonna say the same way a slur. And it's gonna be awesome. But yeah, I do like this movie's like action. It's fun. It's lighthearted. It really works for me.
Yeah, it's cute.
That being said, do you have any criticisms?
Some of the comedy did fall flat for me.
Yeah.
In a way
I felt
that
like
it didn't with Chicken Run.
Yeah. I felt like the lack of characters hurt, and it felt like the movie dragged because of it. There weren't a lot of characters to bounce off of that were like super funny, really. Like the cops were like fine, but I didn't really.
Yeah. A bigger thing with the plot of this movie is I feel like Wallace doesn't really learn his lesson about trying to automate everything in life.
Yeah.
And that interesting AI and automation subtext is kind of forgotten about in the resolution, where it's sort of like Norbot is fine as long as it has a good master, which is like no.
To compare it to the other like Wallace and Gromit feature, the Curse of the Were-Rabbit, like the in the sense that like the police characters are not funny enough or over dramatic or like great as like Ralph Fiennes' character in the Were-Rabbit. So it's just like it doesn't hit as hard.
I think the whole like lazy Roser English trope, they could have done more with that.
Yeah.
I think I do think that the elder cop is quite funny, but I thought that the well-meaning woman cop, I forget her name.
I'll pull it up here.
I thought that she was a bit lacking, but
PC Mukherjee. Thank you.
Yeah. Also, not to be friend who's too woke, I like that they in a kids movie have a character named Mukherjee, with how fucking racist British people are. Hopefully it'll teach them an important lesson about cultural understanding.
Yeah, favorite part?
The chase. How about you?
Mine was the Feather McGraw in prison. I liked him in his little cage. It was funny to me.
Yeah, I love the way that they play off of shit like Shawshank with Feathers McGraw. Feathers McGraw is just such a, despite being the most simple little man, he is such a rich character that they use in very creative ways in this film.
Yeah. Overall, we liked it, and it's another Aardman Studio dunk.
It's on Netflix. Watch it with your kids. Take parenting advice from a lady who runs a podcast with "cum" in the name.
Yeah, who's still a teenager.
Yep. I am thinking 11 out of 15.
Feeling at 10.5.
That puts it at 21.5 out of 30, tying it with Miller's Crossing, Kneecap.
Wait, what did you give it?
11.
Oh.
tying it with Miller's Crossing, Kneecap, La Chimera, and All Quiet on the Western Front. I think I'm going to put it at the bottom, putting it right between Chicken Run and Miller's Crossing. Cool. Alright. Last movie we watched is All About My Mother, which is...
You picked this.
Yeah, I
You
did.
need the director.
Yeah, I forgot to write it down.
Pedro Almodóvar. I might have Almodóvar. Probably saying that wrong. You can fact check me. Bro isn't even prepared.
Okay. All About My Mother from 1999, directed by Pedro Almodóvar. It is...
So I was alright.
No.
What? What did I say?
Almodóvar. Almodóvar.
See, this is why I'm bad at names. Anyway,
Yeah.
take it away.
Alright, this follows the story of one Menueta, whose son tragically dies after being hit with a car, and she tries to find her way in life with a ensemble of very interesting women, ranging from an actress, a saintly sinner, and to a couple trans folks. And it's a very ahead of its time, interesting movie about sexuality, gender, life, death, existentialism, and the AIDS crisis.
Yeah. Yeah, this is a movie about her trying to find her child's father, which is a trans woman named Lola. What did you think about this movie, Rosa?
I quite enjoyed it.
Nice. I'm happy for you.
I think it was very ahead of its time in terms of its treatment of trans folks. One trans woman is played wonderfully by Antonia San Juan, who is in The Platform.
One and two.
One and two. And she does a great job. She plays Agrado, who I think is great. It's a trans sex worker, which is a bit tropey, but there's enough.
Well, there's enough with it. That,
Yeah,
like,
there's enough meat on those bones with the
I don't
character.
think, honestly, I don't think it's tropey in the sense that I don't think it's tropey at all, actually.
Okay. Well, I just say it's tropey in the sense that, like, trans sex worker is it feels like often the only way we're allowed to be in movies.
But
Does that make sense?
that's not that. I think that's the criticism of it, you know?
Yeah.
Because that's the main character was a sex worker before she had her child.
Mhm.
It would make sense that that's part of the industry.
It
That
would-
is where that is where trans people are. They're at that time. I would say it's still a fetish
Why
at that
now?
period. Well, yes, but
with
like,
the whole OnlyFans pipeline,
but it still is like a key part.
yes,
of
what I was getting
trans
to
people.
is I was saying
Yeah.
That-
Anyway,
that the like trans sex worker thing is play out, but in this case, it's good.
anyway, I would like to express my thoughts on what I thought of the movie because you never asked me.
Oh.
But yeah, you've really fucked up for that.
I'm sorry.
dude. Yeah, go jerk it to fucking Gimp Minion. Anyway, I saw this movie in theaters, but I didn't really get like a good experience. Thank you, Rosa. I should have been making jerking it off noises when you were talking about your Trevor Project spiel. Anyway, I saw this in the theater, like last week or so, but I didn't really get like a great experience with it because the person that I was seeing it with just wanted to sit in the furthest seat from the screen, so I couldn't like read the subtitles because they were very tiny. And it was just hard to get the full picture. So I'm glad Rosa picked this so that I can so I could have rewatched it and get the full picture. From my movie experience, I liked the movie, but I couldn't really say I loved it because I didn't know what was happening half of the time. But on rewatch, I really loved it. It was a great movie, and I am happy that I rewatched it, and I got to see it in theaters. Even so, I think this movie looks beautiful. Pedro really is good with color. That is for sure. All the colors pop in his movies. Other movies I think of: Women on the Verge of a Nervous Breakdown, The Skin I Live In, and most recently, The Room Next Door. All his colors pop.
Yeah. I really wish I had the opportunity to see this in theaters, and if I ever get that opportunity, I'm gonna take it. Because even on my OLED, like, damn, these colors are popping.
Yeah.
Definitely one to watch with the lights off. And the score I quite enjoyed too.
Yeah, this is like very reminiscent to me of like catty, like 50s movies, like All About Eve, which we briefed earlier on in the Oscars discussion.
Yeah.
But like movies like that, really, like Breakfast at Tiffany's, that like catty girl.
Yes.
Movies are definitely a huge influence to this movie.
Totally.
Yeah.
I think like I said, very ahead of its time in terms of gender. The casting for Lola, the nun who's an important character in this movie, her child.
Lola's the trans person.
What?
Lola's the trans person.
Yeah. I said the father because that's what the film refers to her as.
Yeah.
I'd say mother, but just for the sake of this, I'll say father.
Yeah.
The father of our main character's child, who's hit by a car, and the child of the nun Rosa, who is a HIV positive nun carrying the trans woman's child.
Yeah. Rosa is very similar to Rosa in this movie. I'll just say that.
Mommy issues.
Not even that. The HIV thing. You have herpes. That's a similarity. You know, you're both pregnant with a tranny's baby, along with. Dude, you're gonna die from those herpes. I don't know what to tell you.
I have herpes.
Anyway, what did you like about this movie besides the characters?
I was just gonna say the characters felt so real.
Well, you can talk about the characters more.
The characters felt so real. I'll leave it at that. We've expressed enough adornment for those characters. I just want to second the color point because that's like wow. And a lot of great shot composition, and it engages with these very brooding existential themes in a way that still maintains the sense of lightheartedness and hope throughout the film, which I kind of needed in my life right now.
Yeah.
I really appreciate it.
Honestly, I love this movie a lot. Like, I didn't know how I was gonna feel on a rewatch, but like I was so re-engrossed into the story. Like, it just flew by for me. Yeah. I wrote this in my notes. Better trans representation than Amelia Perez.
Yeah.
Which is really funny. Just even with like the trans sex worker angle is better representation in what they do with it.
Yeah. I don't like that Lola's played by a man. But
I think it's fine.
Yeah.
I honestly, I would rather it be a man than like a cis woman.
I disagree.
I don't know.
A weird criticism I saw of this movie quite a bit is it being anti-drag, which is stupid because one character makes a remark on not liking drag, which is honestly something that like half of trans people believe. That's not really like anything meant to be homophobic. A lot of it's just personal discomfort and it inciting dysphoria, which I think it's a stupid criticism of the film. Like, yeah, drag makes me dysphoric. I don't like it.
Even though I will preface back to the trans representation.
Sure. Yeah.
Both trans people are not played by trans people. One is a cis woman and one is a cis man. So I don't know, but the trans character, I would say, is represented a little bit better.
Yeah.
It doesn't focus on like surgeries as much. I don't know.
And I enjoy the fact that it like has a great scene devoted to how weird Chaser's shit sucks. You can tell there is an understanding of that
Chasers.
Of being fetishized, of like, are you asking to suck my penis because I have a penis, or are you asking that because you're interested in me? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Which is something, unfortunately, that every trans girl has to put up with.
Along with like the fact of like, if you are a sex worker, you can't really get like, there's a possibility you can't really get rid of your penis because that is your moneymaker.
Yeah.
At the end of the day.
Yeah.
So stuff like that.
I think that this film is very relevant to the modern day. With we plan doing an episode like getting into talking about
it's not a perfect trans representation, but I would say it has better positions than. Yeah,
it has a very realist portrayal of sex work, where it's not like moralizing about it. It's saying it's a shitty industry, but it's work. It is a job, which is how anyone should view it. Like, I'm very pro sex worker and anti sex work in the way that I'm against all wage labor in general. So it's like, it has a mature and correct view of sex work, of having to exist as a fetish object, of a lot of the discomfort that comes with it. I think I love this movie's trans sex work angle because it explores it in such a great and mature way. I wouldn't say I can say the same for the trans woman abandoning her family trope. I ain't really like the treatment of Lola as a character.
Lola wasn't great. Not gonna lie. I thought it was interesting. Not gonna lie. I think their character is interesting, but
there are interesting aspects to it. I will say the discussion of the AIDS crisis in this movie is also handled with equal maturity to the trans sex work thing. Obviously, I haven't lived. Neither of us lived through that. But
you're currently living with herpes, though, so basically...
I don't have herpes.
It's okay, bud.
You have a weird penis.
It's okay, buddy. Denial is the first step in accepting.
I'm bargaining, bitch. I'm bargaining with a hitman that's gonna take you out.
I'm bargaining with the herpes.
I'm bargaining with the herpes demon inside of my mind.
Yes.
Dude, I hope the herpy moves like to my forehead so I can be like, know what I mean?
Yeah. What else do you have to say about this movie?
I enjoyed it. It's definitely a film I'll be coming back to. I feel like
yeah.
It's a very engrossing film. I do mean this when I say it is genreless. It reminded me a lot of The Idiots, in terms of its a lot of its approaches to filmmaking. Right, you're trying not to laugh at me right now. What's going on?
No, I'm not laughing at you.
I did legitimately think it was Hitchcock-esque.
No, I wouldn't say it was Hitchcock-esque.
In terms of its approach to genre, I'll spare you.
I would say your herpes are a little genreless. They could go from like
there
to your
herpes. I have a single pimple on my entire body. One pimple on my entire body.
I have a. You want to talk criticisms?
You can start. I have a lot of criticisms of you and your stigmatization of STIs that don't even exist. of fake imaginary STIs.
Herpes does not exist according to Rosa.
Yeah, that's what I was saying.
Yeah.
Vaccines are a scam. Let's talk about it.
Anyway, I wish there was a little bit more time that we got to spend with the son, low key. He kind of just was there for 5 minutes and then died
He
instantly.
reminded me of Adam Driver from Megalopolis, I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
He's just a little tall minion ass motherfucker who's like,
To be or to not to,
to be or not to be. I'm like, yeah, get hit by that fucking car, kid. I didn't like the son.
He's kind of like you in a sense. You're always asking me to be or to not to be. Yeah.
I'm always pondering suicide with you in Shakespearean English.
Yeah.
I didn't like the ending.
Oh yeah.
The ending felt very rushed. The last 5 minutes in particular was my least favorite part of the movie. Because it wanted to like tie up all these knots that I think would have been better had they been left untied.
Yeah.
Well,
I would agree. I think that's about it that I have in the... Some of the Lola dialogue didn't look like it matched up with what, like, the words that she was saying.
Yeah.
The first Lola scene, it looked like strange ADR. So, I don't know.
Yeah. With that in mind, I'm thinking a 12 out of 15.
Oh, we're not talking favorite part?
Oh, shit. What's your favorite part?
When the girls were in the all in the same apartment and they were all celebrating. Not celebrating, but
All
they
talking.
yeah. They
I
had
agree.
wine.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
May I?
Feeling 12 out of 15 too. Giving this a 24 out of 30.
All right.
Where
Tying
does that
it,
put this?
it puts it tied with
Kinky the Clown.
The Face of Another, Killers of the Flower Moon, and Punishment Park. I say right behind Face of Another, have Killers of the Flower Moon.
Yeah, I'm fine with that.
All right. That brings us to our Q&A segment.
And we have a question here. From our fan from the Discord server.
Okay.
Mockingbird, who asks us, this message was sent 3 weeks ago on January 7th. That's not 3 weeks ago, it's like 2 weeks ago, but I don't care. They asked us to be or to not to be.
To not to be?
To be or not to be.
Oh, okay. To be or to not to be is a way better question. You should ask that instead. I say to be because I haven't killed myself yet, but it could be to not to be in the future. You'll know if there's a video where you're like, hey guys.
I replied to Mockingbird in the server. I said, quote, Megalopolis reference, 2 exclamation points.
Nice.
And that was a Megalopolis reference, and
Yeah,
I'm
for
very
those who
happy
don't
for them. So, yeah, thank you, Mockingbird. Rosa
Okay.
has some Twitter questions
Yep.
here.
From @Aurelia the Queen. Aurelia, one of our, who's also in the server, French reply gal, says, hashtag voted or not. Unfortunately,
That's basically like to be or not to be.
and unfortunately,
that?
I chose wrong in that one. I voted for Kamala in the presidential election. I will never be voting in a election ever
Yeah, you're gonna
again.
be voting Green Party from now
No,
on.
I'm never voting again. Hashtag
Bro,
don't vote.
you're like Green Party because
I get
it's
nothing
like
done.
no, because it's the color of your gas.
Oh yeah.
You have a fart fetish.
Did you vote this year?
I did vote in this year's election.
Yeah. Watch Rose Media's video on voting.
Wow.
Yeah.
Anyway, any other
What-
questions?
What from @Stellarisoid, the Observer writes, what was your most misery-inducing, agonizing, least enjoyable watch ever?
Oh, Triumph
Say it
of the
with
Will.
me, Triumph of the Will. Fuck. I will say
Yeah,
it did lead to a funny review. So I'm glad that we watched it because of that. I don't regret picking it. I won't be picking anything like that for at least another year. A year
At
down.
least another day.
Like maybe a year down the line, we'll check out Olympia. But like, damn, that was a horrible fucking. watch.
Some other ones for me. I would say like Marley and Me Too was like pretty bad. Stuff that like is so vapid, if anything. Like, Megalopolis in the theater was torturous.
Yeah,
for me, at least.
totally.
Like, at home, I can at least, like, pause it and, like, I don't know, go do something else. But in a theater, it was like, holy.
Movie 43, I was, like, actively contemplating.
Dude, at least there was, like...
But at least there's, like,
43
ball sacks on screen.
Yeah, and, like, Chris Pratt pooping.
Oh, also, Wedding Train.
Wedding Train is, like, not that bad, I would say.
Doesn't even count. Barely counts. The episode.
Well, like, it's like, oh, well, I'm not talking for the podcast.
Oh.
We're not talking.
But in terms of podcast ones, I think that Matt Rife's latest stand-up special, that one I was just, like, pissed off over the whole thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anything else?
I think those are some of, like, the notable ones.
Okay. From Kai at Glockson47s. Thoughts on Chopped Chin, and it's a gif of Chopped Chin, who is not Chin. Chinese, but black.
Yeah, I know Chop Chin. Chop Chin is awesome. I love his little dance moves.
He's dancing.
Yeah, he is dancing. It's great. Love Chop Chin. Anything else? Wait. What are your opinions on Chop Chin? Besides,
I
he's
just
not
wish he
Chinese.
Was Chinese. Why isn't he Chinese? His name is Chopped Chin.
Yeah?
Yeah, it's a Chinese name from a J.K. Rowling book.
That's Cho Chang, and I'm not even making out. I'm not even making that up. That's actually the character's name.
From Boris at Boris367-46331. Geeked or locked in?
I'm always locked in.
I'm a bit geeked right now.
Yeah.
From Grosium at Grosium. Longest goon streak. 9 days.
What was this?
Longest goon streak.
Oh, longest goon streak?
I'm defining this as like you jerked off like every day. I'd say like 9 days in a week.
I don't know, bro. In a week? 9 days in a week?
No, 9. Okay, no. 9 days in a row of jerking off, probably.
Oh, nice. I don't know, bro. I don't keep count of like the streak I'm working on.
Oh, you you have a combo meter.
No.
From Kaziok at Kaziok. Do you fuck with the skibbity?
These are awful questions. No. I will fuck with Skibbit. We'll see with the Michael Bay movie.
Yeah, I am disappointed. One of my biggest regrets with the show is not showing Dan Schneider's Skibbity toilet.
Yeah.
The fact that we didn't get that opportunity, but it is what it is. And our last one, this one's actually a banger because of the @ from Famine Bringer at Famine Bringer. The Great Irish Potato Famine or the 1959 Great Chinese Famine?
I don't know, bro.
Fuck those sparrows, bro. 1959 all the fucking way, dude.
Yeah, I guess.
Okay,
is that all the Twitter questions?
Yeah, those are all the Twitter questions.
I have one question for you. What are our most anticipated movies of 2025?
Michael Bay Skibbity Toilet.
I don't think that's coming out this year, bud.
Fuck, nothing. The Wolfman.
Oh, yeah?
Wolf.
That's already out.
Holy shit.
Flying Lotus is directing a movie this year called Ash. Yeah. I'm excited for that. The Running Man. Mickey 17, obviously.
Oh, Mickey 17 is probably my number one right now.
Yeah.
No.
The new Danny Boyle movie. There's a new Silent Hill movie I'm excited for. Yeah, there's stuff that I'm excited for. There's Superman. This is more of a 2026 excitement thing, but Werewolf, directed by Robert Eggers.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Minecraft movie. I guess
totally,
there's Opus. I'm excited for. Now You See Me 3.
I always see you because you have your camera on.
Yeah. True.
You can't see her, but she's really pretty. Trust.
Wicked Part 2.
so true. Is there a new Fast and Furious movie, or are they done?
It probably is.
Thank God that.
It's an F1 movie.
Ooh. Is it about Lewis Hamilton?
No,
What's it
it's Sonny Haynes.
I like motorsport a lot. I like 80s Group B and Rally. But F1 I think is like really interesting, even if it's not something I enjoy like watching.
Excited for the Electric State.
Ooh, that'll be really funny. Yeah, I'm looking forward to the year.
There might be a Michael Jackson biopic next year.
Does he hang a blanket over the edge in the biopic?
What?
Yeah, a kid named Blanket.
I know Blanket. I know Blanket. But,
you met him?
Yeah, I know Blanket.
Yeah,
We
me
go
and Blanket go
way
way back. Way back.
But yeah, yeah, I'm excited for next year.
Yeah.
There's gonna be a lot of shit like usual, like Jurassic World Rebirth.
Thank God.
Bunch of new Marvel movies, shit like that.
Ooh, is Across the Spider-Verse 2025 or is that never?
I think that's 26.
Okay.
Yeah. Not sure. It might be 2027. I don't know.
Okay. Got a movie to recommend.
Whoa.
Whoa.
I just found there might be an Aardman Pokemon movie.
Holy shit.
Let me finish. 2027 though.
That's now my most anticipated movie just like ever. That's so awesome. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. But yeah, we'll see. I don't think yeah. Yeah, we'll see what happens next year. Yeah.
Yep.
So, yeah, excited. Also Marty Supreme. Gonna mention that one real quick.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh, and a new Saw film. I'm excited for the new Saw film. Saw 11.
Thank God.
Yeah.
Dude, the Saw story needs to continue until the heat
Yeah.
death of the universe.
Yeah. Anyway, I have a movie to recommend us. This is a movie that I've been wanting to recommend since the start of this show.
Holy
a movie that
shit.
has been on my mind for 4 years now. I think it's finally time to talk about this movie. I want you to look up the poster for the movie Hard Boiled, directed by John Woo.
Oh, no, you were the one that you used this in a game last night.
Yeah, I did, but they didn't show you a good poster. Please describe it to the audience.
Oh my God. So there is a, I believe that's Chow Yun Fat. Looking at this cast, that's Chow Yun Fat with a shotgun and a bandage, holding a baby with the text "hard boiled" behind him.
Yeah, I'm excited for this. I love John Woo as a director.
Yeah.
Reminds me a lot of I'm forgetting his name, but like the Shaolin Soccer Kung Fu Hustle director.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Don't worry about it. But we'll be talking about The Brutalist next week and Conclave, big Oscar movies next week.
True.
So yeah, that's next week. Anyway, thanks for coming on this journey with us. I am a kitten in a burlap sack.
And I'm a puppy in a burlap sack. And this is kink posting.
I was hoping you were gonna go with the angle that you were like a baseball bat and you were gonna beat me. But
And I'm
no, it's fine.
the baseball bat beating the shit out of the cat in the burlap sack like a piñata.
Oh, dude, you had such a banger. You could have just been like, I'm a kid with a baseball bat and I'm looking at this piñata.
And I'm a kid with a baseball bat looking at this piñata. Meow.
Me. Anyway, we're composting.
Ba-la-ba-ba-la-ba-ba-la-la.